Music is the glue that fastens us together as a sensibility, as a people, as a nation. Music knows neither gender nor creed. It is not bound by either age or income. It satisfies the rich and powerful as perfectly as the common people. Music is our lifelong companion. There is no stopping our ingenuity when it comes to creating the tools for our music. From the first stick struck against a log, we have fashioned instruments to translate what words can never quite express. We piece instruments together from the rarest rosewood and from a cow's bladder. Raw materials are stretched, hollowed, carved, pinned, glued, bent, formed, shaped, sewn, whittled, fretted, strung, nailed, and reinforced to the maker's imagining. This raw ingenuity in shaping instruments is found in every people, place on the planet. It is innate. As if we understand, at some inarticulate level, that if we do not feed the music, some portion of us will starve. The Musical Instrument Museum delights in and pays homage to these amplifiers of human emotion. We have gathered instruments from all parts of mankind in every corner of the world. Some of these instruments look familiar, some might seem strange, but what is common to each of the more than 10,000 instruments we have collected is their ability to express the language of the soul from dialects around the world, all the more delightful for being heard but not spoken. Our mission at the Musical Instrument Museum is to celebrate music as the sustaining human gift. We honor music, its meaning and its instruments, as the wellspring of global culture. We welcome you to our circle of friends, dedicated to fostering understanding and appreciation of cultures and diversity from around the world, to enrich, educate, and entertain through the conservation, preservation, and performance of all styles of music. Come, see, listen. Because if not for music, the soul would have no language, even though we had the ear and the heart to listen.
Eccoci al MIM. Dietro le mie spalle l'ingresso, pienamente ambientato in un giardino ricco di cactus e di flora locale. Ai lati le immagini della nostra mostra.
The viola. The cello.
Eccoci finalmente davanti a Cremona. Questa è la ricostruzione della bottega del liutaio che il Museo del Violino ha aiutato a ricostruire. Un po' della nostra storia. I nostri video con la scuola di liuteria.
Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer.
Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Me llamo Juan Manuel Chávez, más conocido como Baby. Tengo 19 años y toco el cello. Este cello está hecho de una lata de aceite, la madera tirada en la basura y las clavijas son de una vieja cuchara para golpear la carne y para hacer el ñoquis. Y suena así.
A luthier puts the finishing touches on a masterpiece. A violin sells for record millions in a frenzied auction house. A musician's performance brings an audience to its feet. Each of these moments signals a human desire for sublime beauty and for unparalleled perfection. For centuries, the violin has been a symbol of these desires. Behind the search for unparalleled perfection are human acts of craftsmanship, artistry, and tradition. The story of the violin is exciting, thrilling, yet very human. The story was created and is perpetuated by the men and women who, for centuries, have supported them as patrons, created them as luthiers, protected them as collectors, and brought them to life as musicians. We are in the hillside forest of the Fiemme Valley in Italy, in Il Bosco che Suona, the musical woods. A hand knocks on the side of a tree. The sound resounds. The tree is strong, yet flexible enough to live a second life in music. It was from this forest that the early masters, including Andrea Amati and Antonio Stradivari, sourced the materials for their craft. The wood from these trees is transported down the river and ends its journey at the small Italian walled city of Cremona, the so-called City of the Violin. There, in a woodworker's workshop, the master luthier taps a hand against a block of wood. To hear its ringing sound is to hear the start of our story.
Abbiamo portato 5 secoli di liuteria al MIM, a Phoenix. Sono 5 secoli che iniziano naturalmente alla metà del 1500. E attraverso il percorso espositivo e naturalmente guardando gli strumenti che sono esposti, la prima cosa che balza all'occhio è come per alcuni secoli, naturalmente i primi secoli, la liuteria cremonese sia stata un'esperienza del tutto chiusa all'interno delle mura cittadine, nel senso che le prime famiglie di liutai cremonesi erano tutte di origine cittadine. Quando arriviamo però all'ultima sezione della mostra e troviamo gli strumenti esposti contemporanei, vediamo come la liuteria cremonese oggi sia l'espressione anche di numerosi liutai che sono giunti a Cremona da tutti i paesi del mondo. E questo naturalmente è un'ulteriore conferma e sottolineatura del riconoscimento che è stato fatto dall'UNESCO al saper fare liutario cremonese. Questo cammino si ripercorre oltre che con gli strumenti anche attraverso i reperti che sono esposti, perché abbiamo reperti provenienti dalla bottega di Antonio Stradivari, ma abbiamo anche alcuni reperti che provengono dalla bottega della famiglia Ceruti della seconda metà dell'Ottocento. Quindi è un cammino nell'arco del tempo che riguarda gli strumenti, ma che riguarda anche gli attrezzi, i disegni e gli oggetti che sono esposti.
My name is Bruce Carlson. I was born in Flint, Michigan in July 1947. I decided to stay in Cremona because my wife's Italian. I met Bianca here when I was studying right at the beginning. I went back to the States to study repair and restoration in Los Angeles with Hans Weishar. And then I came back to Italy. In the end, we decided to stay here. I enjoy walking through the town, because I can feel this to a certain extent. I have a sense of history about this. Everybody approaches violin making in a different way, but I do like to think that, great things happened here a long time ago, and I think it's inspiring. Violin making, like many things, actually has to be a passion. You have to really want to do it. It takes time and dedication to get to a point where you're doing something decent. So I think the most important thing is to just understand it's not something that you're going to learn in a brief period of time.
Hundreds of years after their creation, instruments crafted by the Cremonese masters continue to serve as subjects of scientific study. Research about materials, methods of construction, and the human touch help us understand our history and the role of human action in sound production.
My name is Greg Alf. I'm a violin maker, and I live in Venice, Italy. Part of, I think, the reason that we love old violins is because they represent our cultural heritage of where we've come from as violin makers. And for me personally, I feel a part of that. I love old violins, but I'm really into the science and into making them better.
In addition to tree ring dating, scientists use a variety of approaches to understand how violins vibrate when played and the exact physical dimensions of each instrument. 3D scanning is one such technology which allows today's violin makers a precise look at the structure and sound of the instruments that they seek to emulate.
And the scanning that we're doing today will reproduce the arching qualities of the Prince Doria to the wavelength of light. It's a very accurate scanning.
Although science and technology lend us insight to the history of violin making, creating a great instrument is still intrinsically tied to art and craft.
I think it's all about really honoring and respecting our colleagues from the past. It's very reasonable and very valid to use scientific methods to learn, and not just science, but also artistic just appreciation and love of the instruments, and talking with string players and listening to how string players play to really get what a great classical Cremonese instrument is. So we can listen to that and use our knowledge of what they are and try to make them even better. That's what, for me, makes violin making exciting.
E qui siamo davanti al primo pannello della mostra che pone la domanda perché Cremona, insomma. Quindi credo che la mostra dia proprio una risposta a questa domanda, perché Cremona, per la sua tradizione, per quello che c'è stato. Abbiamo portato a questa mostra 10 strumenti, di cui 5 dell'uteria classica del periodo d'oro, e uno strumento della transizione, possiamo chiamarlo, che è quello del violino intarsiato di Simone Ferdinando Sacconi, e poi 4 violini invece contemporanei che si rapportano ai concorsi di liuteria. E insieme a questi anche una cinquantina di reperti della bottega stradivariana, quindi con modelli, con strumenti, con disegni che sono molto piaciuti e hanno suscitato molto interesse ai visitatori di questa mostra. Nell'insieme la mostra è un bel colpo d'occhio, è un'ottima presentazione della nostra città in una zona come questa degli Stati Uniti, che è una zona molto ricca di turismo di tutta la parte sud-orientale degli Stati Uniti, quindi parliamo di Arizona, California, Nuovo Messico e Colorado, una zona molto molto visitata. Speriamo proprio che possa avere un forte impatto nel diffondere la conoscenza di Cremona. Siamo qui con 2 importanti personaggi, Caterina De Medici, che però non è in grado di parlare, e invece Kathleen Wins, che è la curatrice della sezione europea del Musical Instrument Museum di Phoenix, con la quale abbiamo organizzato, è stata un po' l'ideatrice di questa esposizione, e quindi lascerei la parola per dirci le sue impressioni. So, Kathleen, please.
Thank you. We're pleased and honored to be able to represent the lutherie tradition of Cremona here in the USA. We feel that the name Stradivarius is one that's well known by the public, but not always understood about why this man was a genius, why there is a 400-year legacy that is continuing. And so we are really pleased to be able to represent not only the work of that master, but of his continuing legacy today here in the USA. It's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many American visitors, and so we're honored that we were selected to represent it.
Yeah, maybe you can also say something about the relationship between your museum and our museum. What can be the similarities? I mean, two museums so different from each other in a way.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about that here at the Musical Instrument Museum, we take a very global perspective, whereas in Cremona, the Museo del Violino, they look very carefully at one comparatively small tradition. However, the way that we look at these two stories is very similar. We're both interested in the history, in the story of the people who have created these traditions and who maintain them and who continue to bring them to life. And so I feel like that's something that we both do in very similar ways.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Sono Massimo Paolillo, il console onorario qui in Arizona, e ho avuto il piacere e l'onore di vedere questa mostra dei nostri pezzi migliori, qui in Arizona e specialmente a Phoenix. Sono sicuro che sarà una mostra di successo ed è un onore come italiano avere questi pezzi unici, rari, più unici che rari a dire il vero, a rappresentare la nostra italianità nel mondo. E ringrazio il dottor Bodini e la dottoressa Villa, a dire il vero, per tutti gli sforzi che hanno fatto per portare qui tutti questi questa cultura italiana in un paese che è gli Stati Uniti, relativamente nuovo, ma specialmente nel sud dell'Arizona, che è ancora più nuovo del nuovo, quindi è un qualcosa che decisamente attirerà molto interesse, e già l'ho visto oggi con la presenza dei giornalisti e delle persone interessate nel ramo dei mass media, ma comunque è una cosa unica anche per l'area del sud-ovest dell'America, degli Stati Uniti, e per noi è particolarmente per me importante, perché l'Italia rappresenta sempre l'Italia nel mondo e a questo livello è una cosa unica che aiuterà senz'altro e aiuta ancora di più a far conoscere l'Italia nel mondo, e specialmente in questa parte degli Stati Uniti.
Hello, my name is April Solomon and I'm the Executive Director of the Musical Instrument Museum, and we are so delighted and honored to be able to present Stradivarius, Origins and Legacy of the Greatest Violin Maker here at the Musical Instrument Museum. We have long aspired to bring a Stradivarius and an Amati and a Guarneri together to do a show of this importance, and we have that opportunity today, and we are so grateful to the Friends of Stradivari and Museo del Violino for allowing us to enter into this significant partnership and a long-standing friendship to showcase these instruments to the world. Our audiences in Phoenix are going to be delighted to see these instruments for the first time, and we hope that you will come and see them as well. We are absolutely thrilled to showcase them and are so grateful for this unique and special opportunity. So, thank you very much.
Grazie moltissimo alla direttrice del MIM che ci sta ospitando, ha ringraziato Cremona, ha spiegato perché il MIM ha deciso di ospitare questa mostra del tutto particolare e importantissima anche per questo museo. È l'inizio di una collaborazione molto importante della quale ci sentiamo effettivamente vicini nell'idea di museo e anche con la professionalità che è stata utilizzata nel lavoro da parte di tutti i collaboratori. Quindi grazie, un saluto particolare a Cremona.
I'm sure that the future of the humanity takes roots in the cities, like new communities which have to be able to recognize their originalities, to imagine innovation choices, and to open the borders and make relations with other communities. Cremona has a very important responsibility to all the world, to preserve and innovate the environment which has given life to the great masters of the past, from Amati to Stradivari, and continues today as an integrated system to offer a unique cultural opportunity to all the world. I hope that we'll be in Cremona all together in the next year. Thank you very much.
This violin was made in 1733 by Antonio Stradivarius in Cremona.